everyone, friends and first of all species. I'm Dayzee Hyena. We're back with another episode of Angels with Scaly Wings. Now, we have unlocked all 5 characters in order to get the true ending. Anyway, I'm excited to get in and see what the good ending is going to be, so let's get going. Oh my god, who? Oh, is that? That's Vara's mother! I haven't seen that card before. Enlightenment. Okay, so this should be the good end. Nothing. You'll see that I cut out all the beforehand. I just went straight to chapter 5 because nothing happens that's different from the other Let's Plays. So we've seen it all. So if I did everything right, let's see what happens. After a night of turbulent dreams, my consciousness returned to the shores of the waking world. Today is the day of the big fireworks. Who shall I bring? Everyone. Now this unlocks the good ending. Let's go. I thought about who I should bring to the show this time. Thinking about it set off a vivid image in my mind of the fireworks I had seen before, exploding in the patterns and illuminating the sky. Suddenly memories of my many attempts. So I'm remembering, because that's one of the things, is that our character forgets that we do each timeline, apparently until now. Suddenly, the memories of my many attempts burst forth like fireworks themselves. All the different things that had happened, the people I met, and so many confrontations with Reza, I remember everything. Ooh, let's see. Damn, we did get the whole crew.
I'm not sure what to say to this.
Well, the science behind the time traveling is actually sound, and doesn't contradict anything we know about the portal. I can't say the same about the theory with wormholes and barriers, though. It does confirm what my roommate has been learning, and my own experience. I can't believe this all happened to you, Dayzee. The proof speaks for itself, really.
I'm not sure about this. It all sounds so.
I know, Bryce. Time traveling is only something that happens in bad science fiction novels, right?
Humph.
And I thought this was going to be some sort of intervention. I have already given you proof regarding the time travel. You don't just have to believe me about the rest, though. All of you have evaded peril because of this phenomenon. Think of many times where you suddenly changed your mind because what you thought might happen. If you have had memories of things that never happened or dreams that later turned out to be true, you have experienced it as well. And some of those nightmares, yeah, those happen too. Are you saying that if I had flown during the competition, I would have died? Oh, look at her face! I remember things from timelines where I died. The same must be true for all of you. It's not just your imagination. This is nice and all, but why did you call us here? I mean, what's the point of telling us all of this? I know where Reza is going to be in a few hours. The 5 of you are the people I've gotten to know best in the time I've spent here. And maybe you even remember some of the things we've done together in other timelines. Now I need your help to stop him. Why didn't you just call the police about all this? You wouldn't even need to tell them all about the time traveling and such. Well, technically the police are here, Bryce.
This case was already getting too big for us, and we still haven't gotten the reinforcements we requested from the city. With the fireworks going on tonight, we really wouldn't have anyone to spare.
You want us to stop him? That sounds dangerous. He's killed at least 4 people so far, right?
And let's not forget he still has his weapon.
What's in it for me? Well, we fucked you in another timeline, so maybe fix that attitude.
Having a part in stopping a murder would probably get you a silver honor. Wouldn't exactly look great on us to give someone a medal and throw them in prison the next day. Just saying.
Naramira, she'd probably make a big parade out of it and have her pardoned. Sounds like a deal to me. Of course, you can only help for your own good. At least I consider my options instead of following someone blindly. Dayzee tells you to fly and you ask how high.
Dayzee has called us here to stop Reza. If we want to make this happen, we should probably start making a plan.
Agreed.
Same here.
So where is he going to be?
In the underground building near the portal. He'll try to steal its generator.
I see.
Previously, I only realized where he was once he was already inside. But this time, we can think about the best way to stop him.
If we're just going to storm the place, I should probably go first. For one, I am a professional, and what's more, I am also an Earth Dragon. That makes me a good cop. Virtually unkillable by any wounds, be credibles.
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
What's that supposed to mean?
'Cause we've seen you blowed up, alright? Well, all of us together should have no trouble taking him down.
I don't want to get him if we don't have to.
Yeah, as the chief, I agree.
Even if we outnumber him, let's not forget about his weapon. Our first goal should be to disarm him somehow.
How can we do that?
Well, I've got a shocker at home. Hit him with that, and I doubt he'll be able to hold anything for a while.
And then we can go for him after that. I'll show you how to do it. Actually, I'll let each one of you have a pair just in case.
You don't have to bring one for me. I don't think I'd be able to use them.
Don't worry about it. They were designed for friars in mind. It's really easy to cuff someone if you know how.
Well, if you say so.
Okay, we've got a shocker and some handcuffs, but that isn't much of a plan. What are we going to do? Wait for Reza to arrive and then all try to cuff him at once? Maybe you should go alone. Yeah, I'm sure Dayzee called us all here only to confront Reza alone in the end. What are you talking about? Well, if you want to get him with the shocker, your best chance is to surprise him after you've gained his trust. You may think it's safer if we're all there because we outnumber him, but in reality, this will likely provoke an aggressive reaction in the instant he sees all of us.
I agree. You may not be able to talk him down, but in the end, you only need to get close enough to hit him with the shocker.
I think he's frightened, feeling like an alien in this world. Maybe that's how he could become a killer, by seeing us as something forward or lesser.
Well, considering he just considers you dragons. But I've tried that before, with only one of you staying and hiding until things were about to go wrong. That usually didn't work out as well as it should have. Because your approach with him is all wrong. You tried to talk him down to distract him while help arrived. What should I do then? Get there before Reza arrives and act like you were going to steal the generator yourself. Carry it together as soon as you're outside, surprise him with the shocker and cap him. That's smart as fuck, I love you, Remy. Meanwhile, all of us will be hiding in the area and watch you to ensure that nothing goes wrong.
That sounds pretty good. How would you come up with that?
I read something similar in a book once. That tracks.
I see.
Wasn't that one of the Sheridan books?
Oh, he likes those shitty books. Love it. Any comment? Any other opinions about this plan? I couldn't think of anything better if I tried.
Do you think you can really pull it off, Dayzee?
I'll have to.
We better get ready then. I'll have to fetch the cuffs from the department and Anna should get her shocker. I also have to make a phone call before I go.
A phone call?
Yeah, to tell Sebastian not to come in for his shift today.
While we waited for Bryce and Anna to return, Lorem, Adine, and Remy stayed in my apartment and made lunch for everyone. After we were all united, Bryce showed us how to use the disposable plastic handcuffs he brought, as they were designed to even constrain earth dragons like Bryce. They were nigh impossible to tear.
And then you just pull here until they're tight enough so he won't be able to pull his wrist out.
Got it.
Does anyone need help? How about you two?
Yeah, I got it.
You alright? It's pretty easy if you know how.
Alright, we've got some more time before we're leaving.
Guess we can just sit around and wait.
Succumb before the storm.
By the way, how's the investigation about me coming along, Bryce? Why is it frozen? It's not something we should talk about right now.
Besides, I've been busy with the whole Reza thing, so...
Of course, you can't tell me anything. I suppose I won't even know when your people will suddenly decide to take me in.
Hey, it's not my fault you violated the conditions of your suspended sentence. I'm just following protocol.
I better get pardoned for doing this, or else.
Or else what?
Might as well go through the portal myself, if I just end up getting arrested here. I'm just saying.
If you don't want to stay here, maybe you should go right now.
Hey, I'm all for helping Dayzee. I just want to make sure I'm covered as well.
If what I read about her is true, that maybe she shouldn't get pardoned.
Oh, hey, everybody, let's not fight right before we need to focus on this shit. Don't believe everything you've read in those tabloids.
I can confirm, they don't know anything.
You don't know the whole story either.
Does that mean you lied under oath? Maybe I should reconsider this pardon thing.
See, that's what I mean. She only cares about herself.
My research has saved thousands of lives, if not millions. What did you ever do for the community?
I volunteer at the orphanage, and what's more, I do that to help them, not for my own gain. Why does she have to be the only one who gets something out of this?
Well, all of us will probably get a medal.
This isn't really the kind of discussion we should be having right now.
Anna, if you lied under oath, then that's something I can just forget.
What are you going to do about it?
I'll make you a deal. You tell all of us right now what really happened back then, and you'll have my support. When it comes time to being pardoned for helping Dayzee stop Reza, how does that sound?
We don't even need her help. She can just leave as far as I'm concerned.
If I'm going, I'll take my shocker with me.
Don't do that.
I want to know what happened.
You'd rather know and let her walk. She's already being investigated. Let the wheels of justice do their work.
See, Dayzee, I just can't catch a break with these people, even when I'm here to help you. She may walk anyway. This infraction will so tiny that she may put a spin on it that makes her look like the victim, just like last time. If she tells us what happens, then that's something we'll always know about her, and how we can be sure she won't do anything like it again. So now you're planning to resort to blackmail. You know what? Do whatever the heck you want. I don't care. Just make up your own damn minds. I want to know.
Me too. Lorem, Adine.
I don't like this.
Alright, let's hear it.
The majority has spoken.
It all started when I decided to look for new angles to tackle cancer. Since I occasionally work with the police, I got a phone call that they received a victim of some sort of accident. The victim had no family or relatives. There was no one who could object to her body being used for research purposes. Usually this wouldn't be anything special, but she wasn't just your usual victim. She was pregnant. Oh. For me, this opened up a lot of possibilities. Usually the council wouldn't allow fertilized eggs to be used for research, but here we were talking about a few fertilized egg cells that haven't even formed an eggshell yet. They would have perished quickly if I hadn't noticed that she was technically pregnant. I submitted my forms for the research and started my work. Since the material was very sensitive, there was really time to wait for approval, as it would have put the whole experiment at risk. Either way, I was sure the paperwork would go through, and I had other things to worry about other than what some busybodies would think about my work. My approach was to tinker with the fertilized egg cell's DNA in order to create a living organism whose immune system would be strong enough to combat cancer all on its own. Damn. Once it had hatched, I made a few transplants, and the new way to fight cancer would be born. In order to ensure compatibility with myself, I spliced some of my own DNA, enough that it would be considered a member of my own species rather than the parents. The result of my experiment was incubated in an artificial eggshell, and then it was just a matter of time before it grew up and we could see if the procedure was a success. For some reason or other, however, my proposal became a public matter. Proposals like mine that need the council's approval could be seen by anyone and were open to discourse, but people usually didn't care about them unless they had some experience in the field. Not so in my case. Once the media got a hold of it, rumors ran amok about what I was going to do. People fixated on small details and exaggerated the procedures outlined in the experiment. Self-appointed do-gooders who thrive on outrage made a smear campaign against me, and due to all the ensuing controversy, my proposal was ultimately rejected. It was already a shame that an experiment like mine, one that could help countless patients, both current and future, could be shut down like this, but there was more. Some people were watching me, and they knew I was doing something in my lab. A group of council-appointed scientists were going to come to my lab to discuss alternative strategies for what I was going to do. But I knew it was partly a setup in order to check that everything that was going on in my lab was legitimate. By this point, the egg was already substantially developed. Knowing their visit and that my experiment was now illegal, I had to get rid of it somehow. I would have smashed it if I could, but the fetus inside was already too big to make it vanish easily. In the end, I decided to leave it on someone's doorstep. Hey, disguised as an egg left by unwanting parents. Oh, wow.
That whole affair got the police department in a lot of trouble too, because it was us who gave you the material.
Don't you have a single thread of decency within you?
Now let's not have any arguments here. I could have done much worse than leaving it on someone's doorstep. Besides, don't expect any goodwill from me if you've never shown any either. Is Amelia hers? Because it looks like a runner. She's a runner, but it was an orphan. That's just a little thing in my head, maybe. I don't know. But that's a trip, man.
Hey, we were on your side during that whole thing, remember?
Yes, but only because I saved your ass more times than I can count. No one, not a single person, has ever been nice to me just for the heck of it. Except for Dayzee.
Leaving an egg on someone's doorstep is such a horrible thing to do.
Versus smashing it, Adine. She could have smashed it, cut it into pieces, and flushed it, alright? We're good. Not like she could have raised it. She wouldn't have wanted to raise it, I don't think. Like you would have done anything different in my position.
I would have owned up to my mistake because I know how these children end up.
Lord.
How they have to grow up if they don't get adopted within a few years, doomed to be nobody's children. You spliced your own DNA in, so you're basically its mother. Yet you didn't hesitate to throw your child away when it became an inconvenience for you.
Actually, it's more of a clone than a child.
Did it even have a name? Or was it just a product for you, a fair experiment?
Yeah, she did have a name. I even scribbled it on her eggshell before I left it.
Wait a minute. It would have been around the same time, but... No, it can't be! What was the name?
I didn't even care. They probably found her. She went to some nice family and lived happily ever after in this story.
What was her name?
But if you really want to know, it was Emily. Boom! Called it! I know her. She's been living in the orphanage all of her life, where you went on with yours without a care in the world. Or even that name. After the mother, I guess.
Now that you mention it, I think the victim's name was a bit different. Amelia, that was it.
Frozen. I knew it! 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 Oh, hold on. Shit. I knew that shit. So, just to reiterate, I think I said this, I don't remember what playthrough, but, when I found out Remy, wanted a kid, I thought Amelia was the kid. Technically it was, because Remy had impregnated Amelia, and that egg is, okay, I got you, I got them big brains.
Amelia, that was it. Froze to death during the winter night, if I recall correctly.
Oh no, Remy. What?
Remy, I never told you this, but shortly before she died, Amelia found out that she was pregnant. That means you...
Where is she?
Don't worry, Remy. She's being taken care of in the orphanage. We can go there once this is over.
Oh no, who's gonna die? He's gonna die, isn't he? No, I want to go there right now.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea.
Yeah, if you're going to meet her, it would take some preparation, and you shouldn't see her while you're like this.
Besides, we should be focusing on Reza right now.
Agreed.
Alright, this is more important. I understand though, Remy, I am so... Oh my god! Okay. I think it's time to go anyway.
Alright, let's do this.
Remy, I swear to God, if you die, I'm going to, just burn this whole game to the ground. Soon we arrived at our destination and everyone chose their hiding place. It wasn't easy, especially since we don't know where Reza would come from. But with a bit of scouting help from Adine, they all found suitable places eventually. Whew! I'm recovering mentally from that story, y'all. I went inside trying to remember the room the generator was in. Luckily, I had plenty of time, and when I found it, I packed it up in a cardboard box that was lying around, just as Reza had done so many times before. Then I waited, knowing of the various conversations we had in other timelines when we met here. I could think about what I was going to say and what his likely response would be. I also found it interesting that this time, I could be the one who was here first. After a while, I heard footsteps outside as if on cue. I took the box with the generator and opened the door. Reza, you're here! You don't know how glad I am to see you. I've wanted to talk to you for so long. Where have you been all this time?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
But talking can wait. Now that you're here, we've got everything. Come on, help me with this and let's get out of here. Wow, we really did switch. Reza walked up to me and grabbed the other end of the box. Slowly, we made our way through the building.
I can't wait to get out of this place. It gives me the creeps.
How so?
Ever since I arrived here, a lot of weird things have happened. I don't like it.
What are you talking about?
Something strange is going on in this world. When I close my eyes, I see things that never happened, and things that later turned out to be true. Do you know what I'm talking about? So you do? How is that possible?
I don't know, Reza.
I had my own reason for coming here today. I knew now would be the best time to take the generators and leave through the portal. What about you? They aren't looking for you too, are they?
No, they believe I'm on their side.
Then what are you doing here?
I had a feeling you'd be here. I figured it out just like you did. We can't wait for them to build us new generators, considering they took the PDAs and the generators back from you. It's more than fair that we could take this as payment and be done with it.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
Something's not right here.
Oh no, what? Hold on, hold on, what now? Suddenly he let go of the box, making me put it down. He took a few steps back before he grabbed his gun and pointed it at me. Reza, what's wrong with you?
How could you even know the time I was going to be here?
Because of the fireworks. We both know they'd give us a perfect cover to do this now.
No, that's not it. We've both been here before. I remember us carrying out the box together, and that time you killed me with my own gun.
Whoa, hold on now. Reza, what are you talking about?
It's all coming back to me now. There's not been a single time where you actually wanted to help me. That girl with the mask, where is she?
Oh shit! She just came out of fucking nowhere. Reza turned around just in time to see the administrator tackle him to the ground. I ran towards them, but in the scuffle a few gunshots unloaded. The telltale hiss of the generators sounded through the hallway. Run! I turned around and ran towards the exit while both Reza and the administrator scrambled to their feet and followed me. Oh shit! When we were all outside, I was swept off my feet as the generator exploded. Recovering from the fall, I looked up only to see Reza running towards the portal. Yay! Suddenly, Adine swooped in from behind and collided with Reza. He stumbled and fell to the ground while Adine regained her balance and ascended, attempting a circle to face him again. No! Yes! Reza stood up and raised his gun at her when Maverick suddenly pounced out of nowhere and pinned him on the ground. Bryce was running towards them when Maverick looked at Reza growling.
Don't kill him, Maverick!
And one out.
After what he's done to you, you're not letting him off the hook that easily, are you?
Let me cut him.
Go ahead. When I arrived, Reza was already secure and ready to go. He spotted me, his face contorting with anger.
You, how could you do this to me, to everyone? You had no idea what I had to do to get here. To get this close by bringing the generator home to our people. If you had only helped me instead of them, we could have done it too. Where were you when that bastard of a dragon bit me? I couldn't do anything but lie around in pain the whole day with a festering wound, huh? Or when I waited for you at the portal a week ago, ready to leave with the parts I stole and repair it,
I shot my gun a few times hoping you'd hear it so we could escape together. I risked everything when I waited for you. Maverick nearly got me that time too. I could have left without you if I wanted. I had everything I needed, but I didn't want to just leave you behind. Should I shut him up?
No, let him talk.
You said we would do anything, that together we could save humanity. All those teleportations messing with our heads. Don't you remember our plan?
I never forgot about our plan, Reza. I just wanted the dragons to be part of it too.
What are you gonna do now, huh?
You'll see. Humanity's going to be fine, and so are you. Take him away, Bryce.
I just want to know one more thing. Who really sabotaged the portal?
That was me. Oh, really? I knew it was Reza who was stealing the generators, so the least I could do was prevent him from sending them to humanity and escaping through the portal. As long as it didn't run, he could never completely get away from us. Say it.
You are right about nearly everything, Maverick. Just not about Dayzee. Still, it took an extraordinary amount of bravery and courage to do what you did. Who knows how all of this would have turned out if it wasn't for you.
It just feels so strange to me now. But it's like I just had to follow Reza. That even I knew where to go and where I would find him. I followed my intuition, but the longer I kept pursuing him more and more, I thought I was going crazy, and that it might mean the end if I decided to go down this path. Maybe it wasn't just your intuition.
Come on, do you want to help me show Reza to his new self?
It would be my pleasure. Just as they went off for Reza, I saw Remy and Lorem approaching. Hey! Izumi was leaning against Remy while they walked up to us together. Her overalls were bearing a large red saint in the center. She needs help fast. I tried to give her some first aid, but I don't think I did much. Based on these wounds, I'm not sure anyone can help her now. She's right. I won't be around much longer. And there's still things I need to tell and show you, Dayzee. Maybe I could carry you. No, we have to go alone. Alright, can you all wait for me here? Sure. Please, just don't start arguing again. There'd be no point now that we've stopped Reza. It's all good. She actually managed to convince Maverick not to kill him. Ex-boyfriend, and he still listens to me. Isn't that funny? I could tell you about Emily while we wait. That would be lovely. Aww. Izumi led the way as we walked through the unfamiliar territory. Maybe I should start by telling you that I haven't exactly been truthful with you. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's fine. Still, now that we're here, I think I should tell you everything. When I was accidentally sent back time, I wasn't alone. What are you talking about? Did you really think a single person could have accomplished everything I told you about, and single-handedly figured out time travel along the way? We were an elite team sent to break new ground. There were 4 of us. High's foreman, geneticist and project lead. Symbol Thomas, behavioral specialist. Francis Bordelon, military advisor. And lastly me, Omoto Izumi, engineer and maintenance crew. This is the kind of job that is so top secret I wouldn't be surprised if we were all killed after we hand over the data. Good thing we're not expendable, huh?
You think they're sending us to the middle of nowhere without seeing us as expendable?
People, please. First of all, you were briefed about this. You should already know what your duties will be. I'm sure all of you were well qualified to perform as expected, but let's get to what this project is really about. Does anyone want to make a guess?
Since I am here, it can only mean something with military application.
Good guess, Miss Thomas.
Does it have anything to do with the PTSD, perchance?
Not quite. How about you, Miss Omoto?
I have no idea. Just get to the point, please.
Let me sum this up in one sentence. Intelligent trainable bioweapons as a low-cost alternative to machinized weapons in developing countries.
Interesting, very interesting.
Now, this conundrum we find ourselves in might actually work out in our favor, since we are outside of any jurisdiction now. That means we can do whatever we want during this little project of ours. Just think of the opportunities.
You tend to utilize human DNA in this project, don't you?
Though they would do that anyway and pay off whichever country we find ourselves in.
Oh, oops.
Yes, but now we won't even have to do that anymore.
It will take me a while to repair all the damage and re-establish communicators with the company. Until then, we're kind of stuck here.
Who says we need to wait until then?
I don't know. I don't think they'd like it if we just went ahead with the project before they even know what happened to us. Sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. That's how you end up in jail.
What else are we supposed to do while here? Worst comes to worst, we can just destroy the results. Heck, if this works out, we are the only ones who have the portal into the past like this. It could be only the first of many incredible opportunities. Think about all the animals we could use, the raw material of plants, even the atmosphere. I can already smell all the rare gases here that we could harvest.
I think that's the ventilation system being wonky. I haven't had the time to adjust it yet. You're the only one thinking about the company, but what's about us?
Already thinking about mutiny. I think that would be a bad idea.
I thought our salary contained an eternal loyalty and silence bonus.
Greed people always crave more regardless of how much they already have.
Oh, this discussion is pointless. I'm team lead. I decide what we do this.
As long as you take responsibility if there's any troubles.
I know what the company wants, and I say this will make them more than just happy. In a few years, you will thank me. Trust me.
If you say so. If we were going to make bioweapons, what animals would we have based them on if we didn't end up here?
The great thing is we don't have to choose. We already have the technology that does all that work for us. We just need to provide the samples. Based on our criteria, we get a customized genome that fits our purpose as best as possible.
And you want to give them human intelligence?
Why wouldn't we give them as much intelligence as we can?
I could go through several hundred reasons, but okay, let's just go. I want to see where this is going. If they can think too advanced, too abstract, don't you think they might start having independent thoughts? How are you going to control them?
That's what Miss Thomas and Mr. Bolden are here for. With the right training, it shouldn't be an issue. Besides, you know that most human soldiers are obedient, right?
I suppose so. How do we know this is going to work with dinosaur DNA as well?
We will find out soon enough.
Should we?
That's not a question we ask at this company. You should know that by now.
Have you ever seen Jurassic?
If you want to see Jurassic Park, you only need to open that door. You will soon find out that all your concerns are unfounded, and I'll show you why. First, let me talk about abilities. Now that we have a whole world of potential samples, we should be able to find even better alternatives to what we have been planning.
What abilities would those be?
Flat, armor, fire, to name a few.
All at once? That sounds like an awful lot of dragons.
Dragons are all scary, aren't they? This could even be a psychological component, to be fair. Getting all those into the same species could be complicated.
You think you can do something nature couldn't?
That's why we're here.
What animal is fire-based ability based on?
The bombard beetle.
I know! I think whenever we were talking to Anna in her good route, first episode I think, when she spat out the two things, I said there's a beetle who does that. I think I said it, but I knew about this beetle. Okay.
The bombard beetle. We're going to make a mechanism safer and easier to control, though.
Alright, so we're going to combine animal strengths with higher cognitive abilities, but how are we going to prevent them from stealing the genome? Backyard breeders could be a problem.
A very good question. There are a number of safeguards we are going to introduce to prevent any unauthorized copying of our product. Firstly, there's the genome itself, raising the creature from infancy to a point where they become usable. The purpose will take some time. Since we're going to do this ourselves, we have a unique blend of hormones to make them reach a stage fairly quickly. Making them grow up is naturally something that will take much time and resources as to become viable by anyone who would want to go on that route. With us, they could be combat ready in months instead of years. Secondly, all creatures will be equipped with a brain implant. Not only will this give them a variety of advantages, but it's also another safeguard against copying as well. Without the chip, they will become uncontrollable or die. So even the genome is stolen, that wouldn't be worth anything without the chip.
That's genius!
I know.
Couldn't someone just hack or reverse engineer the chip and manufacture it themselves?
I doubt it. They're intended to be sold in low technology areas. Even if they can reverse engineer the chip, they don't have the facilities to manufacture them. Otherwise, they'd just be using combat robots like everyone else.
You want to modify their behavior with technology. Depending on a chip sounds dangerous, what if it fails?
Don't worry about that. Actually, there's the training. Training any living being, no matter if it's human or not, takes time and money. Not only do we have an automated training program, but we can also use the implant to accelerate this process.
What about direct transference of knowledge into creatures' brains via the implant?
That technology is still in its infancy. If we want to get this product out into the market as soon as possible, we'll need a solution that works right now.
Fair enough.
It will give the user full control as well. The creature will be able to learn from experience, but undesirable memories can be wiped easily.
Sounds like you have it all figured out already.
The company has been working on this project for a long time, and now it's up to us to make it reach its natural conclusion.
And what would that be?
Our product is the creature, the chip, and the training, all in one complete package. Take away just one of these three components, and the product won't work as intended. We deliver them to be used in combat from the moment they arrive at the customer's doorstep.
I still think we should wait before you rush into using animals that we hardly know anything about.
Your opinion has been noted, Miss Otomo, but it won't carry much weight.
Damn. Despite my objections, the experiments under Hein's foreman went full steam ahead, using the genetic material of many prehistoric reptiles. A variety of species were designed. We started our test with one that enjoyed the most combat-related improvements, measuring their viability and the effect with our safeguards. Soon, the first proto-dragons were born. One was to be raised as naturally as possible. Another was going to receive the hormones for accelerated growth, while the third one was to be trained via automated learning program. The last one was to receive all the safeguards at once. They were not all identical clones. Caring for them was a task that ultimately fell on all of us, in addition to our usual duties. For now, the artificial domestication process on the genome made sure that they would be controllable and obedient without the implant or training. We were already being recognized as packmates and parents by them. While I knew about the added intelligence, I soon had to realize just how far they had gone. It was when the first of them started talking. Man, that would be a trip. Just like the first guy to discover parents talking, he was probably not okay for a long time. At that moment, I knew they would never be free, never be happy. They would only ever live a life of servitude or be used as weapons. They were given sapience only to face a future of enslavement. I knew that the company would expertly maneuver around the legal system to make it possible. As I worked my way up the ranks within the company, I had become increasingly disillusioned by the many despicable acts and projects I had witnessed. But now I was at a breaking point, ready to blow the whistle on everything I knew about them. While the experiments continued, they relied on me to repair the portal and return to our time, and I could only buy so much time while I figured out how to proceed. I knew as soon as contact was reestablished, I wouldn't be able to stop the project anymore. It was then that I realized I had to do something.
You think they wouldn't need to send someone to take care of this anymore? It should be all automated by now.
True, we have a robot that can perform any kind of surgery, so they don't need to send a doctor anymore. Why not have a robot that can take care of other robots?
Because I'd be the one to create that robot. And if I did, I'd be out of a job.
By the way, I think the heater in my room is broken. Would you mind taking a look at it later?
I could think of a few ways to turn up the heat.
A tempting offer that I unfortunately will have to decline, Miss Bolan.
I hate these early meetings.
Anybody want a cup of coffee, Miss Otomo, perhaps?
You know, I don't drink coffee.
3 cups then, just as usual.
I don't even know why they even gave us 4.
Here you go.
Why even coffee? It's not as if we couldn't just take a pill to get the same effect.
But then you wouldn't get this lovely taste, Miss Thomas.
The taste is the worst part of coffee. It tastes like adulthood, and I don't fuck with adulthood. Why do you think? I got that giant Snorlax.
Can we just get this over with?
Of course. Who wants to present the results first? No one? Alright, I suppose it will have to be me again. You know what? You should all be glad that everything is recorded and transcribed automatically now. In my days, we had to write these reports ourselves.
Hail to our machine overlords.
Can we just get this over with?
Of course, Miss Bonvitwick.
I knew it! She poisoned them! Knew it! Suddenly, Heinz started coughing. When his fist didn't stop after a few seconds, all of us stood up and Francis went over to him. Heinz kneeled over, his eyes opened widely into an unfocused stare. He stopped moving before a bit of foam started to appear in his mouth. He needs his injector. There should be one in the drawer over there. I quickly went to the drawer, grabbed something, and ran to Silbs. A knife. A knife? A gun? That's what I used to... Yes! Before she could finish her sentence, I drove a scalpel into her neck. She collapsed and immediately... Why would you kill her first? You should kill the military guy. He's the biggest threat. Okay.
Before she could finish her sentence, I drove the scalpel into her neck. She collapsed immediately as blood gushed out of her wounds, staining the floor red. She screamed, and Francis turned around to see me holding the scalpel while the bleeding Sibo lay on the ground next to me. I attempted to stab him, but he grabbed my arm and rescued the scalpel from me, which fell to the floor with an audible clang. He then wrapped his hand around my neck and started to choke me. I fell over backward and he followed, his hands never leaving my neck in the process. He was now kneeling above me and I found myself becoming weaker by the second. I made peace with the idea that I was going to die. I didn't know what would happen afterwards, to the dragons, to Earth, to everyone, but at least I could say I tried. Wait, was the poison in all the mugs? Wouldn't it kill him too? When I came to, it was from feeling something dripping on my face before Francis was dragged away from me. Slowly, my vision returned. I looked up to see one of the dragons approached me before it started to lick my face with its blood-stained muzzle. Oh, her dragon! Because they all took care of one, her dragon must have protected her. That's so cute. Aww. Damn. Damn. Oh yeah, his eyes are fucked up. Oh, damn. The other design species were made, and after making some adjustments to the learning program, it taught them what I wanted them to know. I founded the first village and they grew up quickly, knowing only me as their leader. By the time I left, they didn't even need me anymore. They had become completely self-sufficient. So in the end, you gave them even more than life. You gave them freedom. She sat on the ground, panting heavily. There should be a shovel over there. Take it and dig. I did as she asked and began digging a hole in the area she indicated. I wonder what would await me when the shovel hit something hard and I dug around it, unearthing a vaguely round shape. More shapes followed, and as they continued, I eventually realized that I was looking at a body. I lifted it out of its shallow grave before turning it over. It was me. Fuck! Why would you make me do that? Why? How?
You have to understand there was no other way. Each time you traveled back in time, I had to kill you. Having multiple instances of you would...
I knew there had to be some... Because, like, that was a remaining question. If I appeared, would that make more of me, or would I fuse into the same person? Okay.
Each time you traveled back in time, I had to kill you. Having multiple instances of you would have been troublesome. We only need one of you. Want to go through the same scenario over and over again, so that we could learn what to do differently.
Oh! So, I lived through all of them, but after I got out, then the new real me was behind me and she would... Ha! Okay, I understand. So this is your graveyard then, full of other instances of me.
Not just you. There are others. And myself.
Others?
Yes, in some timelines they sent someone else instead of you. She was not a nice person.
Why did they send someone else? They told me I was the best candidate and I was going to offer my own PDA for the trade.
Because in those timelines you died before you ever had a chance to arrive here. Murdered for that very PDA you gave the dragons.
How many are there? How many did you bury? How many times have we done this now?
I lost track a long time ago. How I wish I could forget it all.
You only did what you had to.
Hey Dayzee, do you remember anything about the first time you came here?
Let me think. You mean when I confronted Reza alone with the explosive that I made from a generator?
And you don't. You only remember the newer times. I think it's better this way. I've killed you so many times, and sometimes you did the same to me, or rather, a different me. You don't know what it was like when I still had to try to figure everything out. You can only remember timelines I have sufficiently tampered with.
What are you trying to tell me?
The first few times I was just watching you. I could see your intentions were pure, and that you were filled with determination, but without my help you always failed. Everything that happened, from all the murders to the conclusion in the lab, it was all necessary to arrive here. I also needed to show you what kind of person Reza was. You wouldn't have believed me otherwise. How could I have stopped him earlier and saved those he killed? I don't know. If I died before I could reveal myself to you, circumstances could have been unfixable. How many times do you think we tried before we had even the remote possibility to succeed?
I know what you did. I've done it too, remember?
If you didn't step up to the position back then, you probably still would have to figure out a few things.
Sometimes I didn't quite know myself why I had to do the things you told me to. If we didn't lure Maverick to the portal during my first day, the confrontation that sets off this whole chain of events wouldn't even happen.
Your meeting with Reza had to be interrupted. Otherwise, he would have told you about his plan that night. And from the ensuing talk, there would have only been two options. Either you would have joined him to save humanity while leaving this world to die, or you would have opposed him, in which case he did not hesitate to shoot you then and there.
Oh! Huh!
We had to do a lot of things to make this happen, didn't we? All those other timelines just to succeed in this one. All the others might have failed, but we still learned something from every little mistake we made. That's how we could arrive here. What will you do now? With the generator gone, we won't be able to stop the comet.
Maybe we don't need to.
What are you talking about?
Back home there are plenty of empty buildings. If the dragons took their generators and technology with them, we could revive all the infrastructures, the hospitals, schools, everything. They could make humanity an offer they wouldn't be able to refuse.
You want to relocate them? Do you even have any idea how many dragons live here? Sure, they may have never settled on another continent, but we're talking about millions here.
Even if they won't accept them, they will have a safe passage to set up a new city. I don't think it will come to that, though. We have plenty of dead infrastructure and room to fill. It could be the very first city of its kind, with dragons and humans living together. Besides, if we can't stop the comet, this is about as good as it's going to get.
I know you won't settle for anything less. If this is the only way, then I won't object to this outcome. The thought of humans and dragons living together is one that I think bears a lot of potential. Maybe from the ashes of both civilizations, something new and greater can be created. You don't realize the weight that's been on my shoulders from all the things I had to do to make this work. Now that we are here, I don't think I could continue this existence with these memories in mind. Now that we have saved them, I can finally rest. Maybe I have to apologize. You were right to want to save humanity too. When both me and Reza only cared for one civilization, we never settled for one. We wanted to save everyone. I guess I was so blinded by wanting to preserve my creation that I refused to see anything else. I'm glad you saw this through to the end. You never stopped believing.
If it wasn't for you, I never could have done this.
And now it's on you to make it work. A city of dragons and humans.
I'll try to do my best.
I believe you will. Then I could die happily, knowing that they will be safe and can look to a brighter future.
No, you can't just die now. How am I supposed to do this without you?
Don't be sad for me. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Damn. I mean, like, shout out to her, because, like, she legit, like, wanted to save the creatures they created and shit, and she did, give them freedom that they wouldn't have had. So, you know, gotta do what you gotta do in this world, man.
Besides, I'm sure you'll do a fine job.
How can you be sure I will?
Because if you don't, I will hold you responsible for what happens to them. Through time and space, if necessary.
How can you make jokes at a time like this?
You have only seen what I had to do, not what I wanted to do. If we met at a different time, a different place, things could have been very different. I have killed you so many times and put you through so much anguish to make this happen. I only long for your forgiveness and understanding, that you can look at what we have achieved now and tell me it was worth it.
It was.
Thank you.
She closed her eyes as a single tear ran down her face. I moved to wipe it from her and could already feel the warmth draining from Izumi's body. She was dead. After being told of the comet and realizing that any of their attempts to stop or redirect it would fail without the lab's generator, the Dragon's Council agreed with my course of action, as did humanity. While the repopulation of our city turned out very differently than humanity had initially hoped, our concerns were not against the possibility of the vast amounts of technology and generators the dragons would bring to revive it. Soon, the initiative to relocate the dragons through the portal was in full force, and I, still acting as an ambassador, helped as much as I could to make it go as smoothly as possible. After a few weeks, we had done it, and as the last of the dragons from the even further regions had arrived on the other side, the time had come for me to walk through the portal for the very last time. I looked back to their village and saw all the abandoned buildings doomed to be destroyed when the comet would soon hit. As I walked up to the platform and waited for the portal to do its starting routine, I thought about what would happen now and what would come of this collaboration between humans and dragons. I was sure there was a lot of work to be done, especially if I considered the state of the rest of the world. But maybe our city could be the best on of Earth. Not as the single last one remaining, but rather the first of its kind, and from it maybe we'd be able to grow and spread our influence. Maybe, together, we can rebuild. Aww. So that, everybody, is the good ending of Angels with Scaly Wings. I love it. It's cool how we were able to take all of them and, like, combine the two worlds together as, like, you know, little harmony. Shout out to Izumi, who risked life and limb to save the— See, Amelia! I knew she looked so familiar. Anyway, sorry, I need to stop. Anyway, and all these great— like, these characters are super great, and I love how layered the story was. But, it would be interesting to see, like, them coming together and stuff, and I hope Remy and Amelia were reunited. I know they are, because if they weren't, I would cry for years. Anyway, whatever. Leave it in the comment section below. Also, just tell me how you feel about this series. I have loved it. You know, there were some times it was pretty fucking rough, but, you know, the characters are really endearing. We got to fuck a few of them. Oh my god. So, you know, really shout out, because me programming my own game, I know how fucking hard it is to do, like, 3 endings, let alone 13, I think it's 13 separate endings. That's insanity to me. So, like, really shout out to them. You can tell a lot of hard work went into this. Also, I hear with fake ears, so it might not be true, but there might be an Angels with Scaly Wings 2. If there is, I'm playing it. And if they need a voice actor, hey. I know they're probably not watching this or anything, but if y'all are, like the off chance that one of the people who worked on this is actually watching, you made a great game. Shout out to y'all. I love this game. Y'all are great. Keep doing what you're doing. Ah, man. Oh, that's all the things. X-Woman Spear. All this. Aw. Thank you for making the game. I love it. You have seen the true ending. Oh, does that mean that's it? That's all there is to see? Well, who knows? Either way, it might be a good idea to keep your save file. You know, just to be sure. Maybe it'll come in handy in the future. Oh, and it's daytime now! Let's see the gallery. Oh, hey! It's Izumi! And the mask! Oh, that's awesome! So there's still 2 pictures that we haven't unlocked. I think one is a Mira, and I don't know what the other one is. But anyway, like I was saying, I love this game. I definitely recommend this game. If you like what you see and you want to stick around for any other crazy adventures I do, make sure you give a like and subscribe so you can see my content in the future. Also, while you're here, if you have any game suggestions or you just want to say hi, leave it down in the comment section below. I'm Dayzee Hyena. I'll see you in the next vid.